Hello, Walking Dead fans. How are you? Hey, what happened on Daryl Dixon, Season 2, Episode 2, The Book of Carol? Let's talk about Carol and Ash's journey first. They're traveling on the plane. The plane has a fuel leak. One of the engine starts sputtering smoke. Ash lands the plane, and they're in Greenland. As he's fixing the plane, trying to discover where the fuel leakage is at, free walkers show up. They got mud, dirt, twigs, plants, mushrooms growing out of them. One's got like a white beard like Gandalf. That was cool. Carol's like, I got this, because it's slow, right? So she takes him out, taking her time with the crossbow. When suddenly out of the ground, two more walkers show up, tackle her to the ground. She yells for Ash to save her. Ash takes out two of them, but can't get to the last one. And the walker almost bites Carol when suddenly two widows show up and save them. They take them to where they're at, which is kind of like a university, PhD, base. She said, we were here to study about pollution and that, how it's affected Mother Nature. We were only supposed to be here for 3 months. We've been here for many, many years. There's two of us. You're the first humans we have seen in forever. So they give them a feast. They got reindeer, potatoes, garlic, stuff like that. They introduce themselves. One's named Hannah and one's named Anu. Anu goes off of Ash to fix the plane while Hannah stays with Carol. Carol asks her, like, so what are your thoughts about the walkers, stuff like that? And she says, it's all Mother Nature. She said, we screwed Mother Nature with pollution, stuff like that, so Mother Nature screwed us back. Carol begs to differ, which pisses off Hannah, because Hannah's been, apparently, her Anu's been studying this, like research data somehow. That's the conclusion they come up with. So she posed something the crossbow on Carol. So Carol apologizes for making fun of her, suggesting that Mother Nature is the reason of the walkers. She says, that's not why. She said, we have to take you out. And Carol says, why? You want the plane? You can have the plane. I just want to get to France to find my friend. She says, no. Ash is staying here, but you're a liability. And she says, well, if you don't want the plane, just want Ash. Why? We can work together. She says, no, you can't. You have no use to us, she said. And Carol's like, what's that mean? And she gets up to try to make a move for the crossbow. And Hannah pushes her down on the chair and holds it by a crossbow point. And she says, we have to repopulate the world. And then it shows Ash and Anu, they're fixing the plane. They found the fuel leak. He fixes up, patches up with some tape. Sonny Anu just jumps him and just starts kissing him. Like, reminds me of a catfish. Just smacking your lips and not letting go. Like, she plucked right onto him. Holy bejeebus. Ash pulls her off. She says, you're the first man I've seen in years. I'm sorry, she said, but Ash like, whoa. Like, I'm flattered, but whoa, let's take this slow, right? And then she says, no, we can't take it slow. We have to restart reproducing the water quickly. He's like, huh? He says, after you impregnate me, you must sleep with Hannah. Then, over and over again, you must stay here. So Ash is like, whoa, okay, nope. And then he goes for the gun. She knocks him down, handcuffs him to the plane. She goes back to the place that they're staying at, the college, university tent thing. And Hannah still is talking to Carol. She's like, you were supposed to kill her by now. During this point, Carol has somehow convinced Hannah not to kill her, right? So Hannah kills Anu. And she says she's always been bossy. So as her and Carol go back to the plane to see what happened to Ash, Hannah wants to go with them. She apologizes for trying to kill Carol and stuff like that. Carol's like, it's fine. Suddenly, Hannah goes a flying by her. Ash kills her with a flare gun. Like, holy shit, dude, you got some good aim. And then Ash, like, we're getting out of here. And Carol's like, you got some, some lipstick there. And Ash, like, goes like this. Like, that was funny. I love Ash already. He's cool. So they get in the plane. They take off. And they make it to France. It doesn't tell us how long they've been traveling. Like, days, weeks, months. We don't know. They just make it to France. They hide the plane. Carol has still not told Ash the truth that she's looking for her friend Daryl, but he still thinks she's looking for her husband and daughter that left and stuff to see if they're still alive. So she convinced him to stay where they're hiding the plane for at least for 2 weeks. If she don't come back 2 weeks, he can come search for her. She's traveling through the abandoned streets of Paris. when suddenly she hides, two soldiers drive by with an army vehicle with food, full of food and stuff. They beat up this old guy and then toss him some food and leave. She follows them, but it's cool how she did. While they were beating up the old guy, she punctures a hole in a bag of grain, so the seeds are pouring out when they drive away. So she follows the path of basic breadcrumbs. And these soldiers have all these refugee survivors huddled up in a group, and they're offering them food in return for information of where the refugees are. And some of them raise their hands up like they know where they're at, and some's like, bullshit, you don't know where it's at, nobody does. And then they start, fighting over the food and stuff, and Carol is blending in, not knowing that the refugee place they're looking for is where Daryl's at. When suddenly these soldiers take 19 of them away into two separate vehicles. And one of the guys talks to Carol and says, my husband Julian is in the other truck. He said, my name is Remain. He said, the soldiers offer us food to help us in return. We have to know where the location of where these refugees are. Do you know? Carol was like, I don't know where they're at. And she doesn't, right? She's telling the truth. And then he says, hopefully we don't go to the place where they experiment on and torture. And then his husband, where he's at in the other truck, they drive off, take a different road. So Remain tries to find out what's going on. The soldier knocks him out. Carol's taking care of him. And this shows Daryl's journey now. Daryl is trying to still convince Isabella and Lorette to go with him back to Alexandria Commonwealth, but she doesn't want to go because all she's ever known is Paris. She don't know what the outside world is like, and Daryl's trying to tell her it's not all that bad, right? It's better than we're at now. One of the scouts that Daryl saved last week with the Mantis team that the soldiers had captured for information, he's acting strangely to his girlfriend, and she says, you did not tell them where we're at, right? He says, I swear I didn't. I swear I didn't, but he's acting strange. He said, I'm so sorry. I apologize. And she says, for what? There's suddenly people are running, stuff's going on. Someone has taken Isabella's nephew, Norette, the special kid that I still say, and other people say online that he's immune to the Walker virus. He's gone AWOL. He's missing. One of the refugees, God says, two soldiers showed up. One had tattoos on the side of his face. Daryl says, that's Jeanette, the soldier from last season that was a badass, second in command to Madame Jeanette's chain of command. But then he turned good in the last episode and let Daryl, Isabel, and Lorette escape to this refugee place, and then return. He was taken away by the soldiers. We never knew what happened to him. So Daryl says, looks like they found out where we're at. And the old man shows up and he says, well, I didn't say nothing. And Daryl says, well, I know you would never portray the location of this place. The refugee leader tells him, go get Norette back. It's needed. But I noticed that the refugee leader is not happy that Isabella and the old guy is going with Daryl. The young guy is acting strangely. The other scout that was captured goes with him too, with the two other people. They find they follow the tire tracks throughout the street to Paris and comes across this abandoned building. Daryl and them go in. Isabella stays with the soldier from the other scout team, while the old man goes off with one other guy and Daryl goes off with two other guys. Daryl notices there's two people here, but the people that are here are not soldiers. They're a part of the refugee team. And Daryl's like, what are you guys doing here? Then four of them beat up Daryl, try to kill him. Daryl fights back, takes out two of them. The old guy takes out the guy he's fighting with, helps Daryl by taking out the other two. Isabel arrives, helps out as well by taking out the last one. Then the young guy, the guy that's been acting strangely, apologizes, says, you two are not supposed to be here. She says, what are you talking about? He says, I told the leader of the refugees that I never gave out information where we were at by the soldiers, but he's saying us getting captured is a sign of weakness, and in order for us to stay at the castle, we had to kill Daryl, because he doesn't like Daryl, right? Because of his training methods and stuff, and how he's trying to get people to leave to go to Alexandria Commonwealth. So Daryl, Isabel, the old guy go to leave because now they know it's just a setup and that Narot's still at the castle. But they can't get to the castle because high tide's in. The water's too high up, so they gotta wait for low tide. Isabella then tells Daryl that she's changed her mind now. Wants to save the rat. Wants to take care of the soldiers. She wants to leave with the Commonwealth, with Daryl to Alexander the Commonwealth. They make out, and the old guy just got a smile on his face. I love the old guy. And he looks at Daryl's like, "Can I go with you?" Daryl's like, "Hell yeah!" Slap hands. The fist pumps. Like, "You're going for sure, man." I'm liking this old guy. I just wish they're. Hopefully next week they tell us the name of this old guy because he's badass. Then it shows the castle. The girlfriend soldier, the one who's acting strange, notices that one of the people walks away from the dining hall where everybody's eating with her tray of food. So she follows her to a wine cellar. The refugee leader and his second in command's there with Laurent chained to a chair because apparently it's the prophecy because he's immune to the virus. I'm still going with. So we don't know what's happened now. We don't know if they take her out or say she'll be a part of it. We don't know. And then it shows the episode ends with Madame Jeanette with the doctor. He says, "We have 19 refugees to experiment on." Great. They're going to experiment on Carol and people. Great. And she says, "Don't remember, you have to stay some of them alive. Keep some of them alive for me to find out the location of where they're staying at." Then they enter this room, and there's a guy tied to a chair. He is beaten to shit. Like, I'm surprised he's alive. And it's Jeanette, the soldier, her second in command, that turned good. So now we know what happened to him. Poor guy's being tortured. She says, "You're a tough son of a you-know-what for not telling me where the location of the refugee place is at, where people are going to for safety, and trying to take us out." She said, "I'm losing too many soldiers." So luckily the doctor's got some walkers ready. I'm like, "Oh great, we got some walkers coming. They're gonna be acid walkers. They're gonna be a new breed of walker we don't know about." And Jeanette spits at her and she tortures him some more. And then it shows on the table of his belongings a locket. And it's open and there's the castle surrounded by water and engraving. All that come here are saved. So hopefully she doesn't put 2 to 2 together when she sees that picture in the locket. Where Jeanette survived the torture that's being dealt to him. Daryl is pissed off that he had hit help put on him. So he's ready to go back to that refugee castle and whoop some ass with the old guy Isabella. Are they going to be able to save Narot? Are we going to finally find out what the hell this prophecy is about? And what's going to happen to Carol? Because she's at the army base now where this doctor's going to experiment on some of them. Hopefully she's not one of the ones that they try to experiment on. Because Carol ain't going to let that happen. Stay safe, everybody. Too sweet. Bye.